Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 51 of the Dunk Dynasty Podcast. The Olympics are over, but we're not over. We are back to give you guys a breakdown of all the Olympic action, mainly the basketball. Bit of tough times at the moment now since there's, TV is not as packed as it was before for the last 2 weeks, but it's okay. We're here to give you guys nice, fresh perspectives from the crew. Myself, Panache and Shanu, here with Trigger Trey Mitchell, and the Terminator, Jed Mitchell, representing New Zealand from all corners of all islands. How are things going, fellas?
Minus one island, but when you draw New Zealand, you don't draw Stewart Island, so barely part of New Zealand, though.
Crazy.
Trey's good, but he's feeling full of hate.
Yeah, not a fan of Stewart Island, bro. That's tough. But you're a fan of...
When I draw New Zealand, bro, I'm not drawing Stewart Island.
Where do you draw New Zealand?
Yeah, when have you ever had to draw New Zealand?
Does it come from men?
When I have, I have not drawn Stewart Island.
Can you give us an example of when you were asked to draw New Zealand?
I don't know, when I was in school.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh, that's tough. I feel bad, man. I feel bad for some kids out there if you're having to draw New Zealand or having to draw your country in general on any sort of test or exam, whatever it is. I feel bad. That's tough times. But tough times for a lot of different people out there, especially the French, losing not one but two finals, losing the men's and the women's finals. The men's final, obviously, came down to the last 2 minutes, and then Steph Curry went God mode. I think I've never seen... I'm okay. We've seen it before, but come on, dog. That last shot, I think that's just... Come on, dude. Kevin Durant, LeBron James on the other side of the court. This guy shoots it over Batum and Fournier. And then there you go. Team USA win the gold. I think all our predictions, absolutely washed because no one picked USA to win. And here we are. Eggs on the face. Tough.
If you even had France to win, which it was the closest.
I said USA.
You still deserve an egg on your face.
You picked the favorite. That's boring, bro. We picked the underdogs for the vibes to get the drama going. You picked the favorite. Boring, basic.
Well, I just picked the best team on paper.
And it turns out the best team on paper was the best team. I mean, yeah, they did their thing.
It would have been fun if I lost. This would have been a much more fun podcast if we're sitting here throwing shade at all of these all-time greats. But yeah,
they showed why they're the best. They showed why they're the best. I mean, last couple of minutes, go to your best players. Easy money.
Would you be throwing shade at the players or the coach?
Oh, I'd throw an equal amount of shade out in both parties.
Wow, I'll just be throwing it all at Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's lucky. He's lucky in a way, but still, yeah, he's coached a lot of great players. This team here, they had the 12 out of the 25, 30 best players in the world. Eat. But you still have to go out there and win the games. That's the thing as well, and that is what they did. LeBron James, MVP, bro. There you go, another accolade for the GOAT. I mean, I don't really think it does much for the GOAT debate anyway, but.
Do you think
did Michael Jordan play at 39 years old?
Do you think LeBron deserved the award?
100%, bro. It's the best player, man, across the entire tournament.
Over Steph Curry with those final 2 games.
Yeah.
And what happened before those 2 games?
Yeah, what happened before? You heard what Anthony Edwards said, man. Steph Curry got to Paris 3 days ago because that's when he actually started playing in the semi-final. There's 6 games in the tournament, man. We aren't giving MVP for just playing well in 2 games.
Aisha Curry actually showed up the last 2 games.
Yeah, what Curry got in the semi, he had 36 points or something. That's for an Olympic basketball game. That is crazy. That's a 50 piece in the NBA.
LeBron James had a triple double. So there you go as well. That's the MVP, man. You can't give MVP for 1 game.
No, but I don't think they beat Serbia. And they don't have that final leap at the end of that France game without Steph Curry. I feel like he was more pivotal in the right moments to their success than LeBron James, who just gets handed another award. It's like the Jaylen Brown Western Conference Finals MVP. That's
Could you imagine if LeBron James didn't win the best award available ever?
No,
Like-
but could you imagine if LeBron James wasn't on the court and it was just Steph Curry and KD and all them guys? They're not beating Serbia.
Could you imagine? Yeah, bro. Could you imagine if Steph Curry wasn't on the court in that Serbia game? They would lose by 20 because that's what was happening until Steph Curry kind of popped off. He was actually pretty consistent throughout the game, but Steph Curry was the one who clawed them back.
Hey man,
tell you
do,
what I
hey,
couldn't
you do what you do.
imagine.
You give out MVP for 2 games. I'll give out MVP for 6 games, and we'll see
Okay.
how many people agree.
If you're giving the MVP to a player on the on the team that won, I feel like it should be weighted towards the finals.
What? What do you mean? You have to get to the finals. You don't get to the
was it
finals without LeBron and all these other guys play well. Steph Curry.
it- is
it-
That's the good
you
thing
don't-
about having this sort of team. Guys can show up at different moments in time. But who was the player that was the most consistent? LeBron James, for sure, across all 6 games, and that's how you judge it. That's how they judge the All-Star 5.
I reckon it's
Dennis
crazy
Schroder
that
wasn't in the final, but he was in the All-Star 5 team. So was
you're
Jokic.
not weighting. You're not weighting it towards the final at all, like towards those final 2
Was
games.
it finals MVP or MVP of the whole tournament?
It's MVP.
Yeah, but we're acting like LeBron
Also-
James put up.
also,
You're acting
why-
like LeBron James put up like 2 points in the semi-final and final.
You're acting like Steph Curry didn't put up 36 and then ice a game to win a gold medal.
Yeah, but you're acting like Steph Curry played well the other 4 games. He didn't. There was 6 games in this tournament. He played well for 2. There's 6 games in the
I
tournament.
know. I just think in that Serbia game, it was way more pivotal that he needed to be good for them to win than LeBron just kind of chipping away.
You
I
need to
reckon
beat
Shea
these
should've
other
won it.
teams. You don't get to Serbia without beating these other teams. You need
Why
to
would
beat
they-
the other teams first.
They needed to beat those other teams. They chilled through South Sudan.
I
They
don't know
chilled-
if they were chilling through some of these games. There was games in there, bro. You still have to play. You still have to win those games and play well. We're not giving MVP for playing well in 2
To me-
games. That's
to
just
me,
not how it
this
works.
If this is the way it's going to go, this is the definition of a participation award. That's
Listen,
literally
if you want to give Steph Curry the MVP for FIBA for the Olympic tournament, I
Also,
want you to
okay.
say no. Then I want you to say
Hold up.
right now that Joel Embiid was the MVP of the season just gone. That's the equivalent.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is because Joel Embiid literally didn't even play well. No, not play well. He didn't play in all the games, which means we're judging him on this X amount of games that he played well in. You
No,
can't
that's not
say
the same.
you
I
can't
reckon-
say, oh
He
yeah,
played
we're
all the
gonna give
games.
Steph
Hey,
Curry the
take
MVP
a
for playing
breath.
well in 2 games.
Take a breath, get back on the rails. I said I'm weighting it towards the more important games where the championship was won. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, he played well in the 6 big games.
So-
The Joel Embiid argument makes no sense because he's never played past the second round. So,
So,
I
we're giving MVP to someone for playing well in 33% of the tournament. So that's essentially what we're saying.
you're getting it twisted.
It's like giving it to Jalen Green because Jalen Green is a last 20 game player, and the rest, where is he?
It's
It's
actually
the same
crazy
situation.
because it's not at all because the regular season is so different because that's a regular season award. This is for the whole picture. So if you had an NBA season award, I say the MVP was done after the finals and it's weighted for the finals in the season, I'm giving a larger weighting to those finals games than I am to the regular season. If you guys want to disagree with me, I think you're just a little bit
That
delusional.
makes
You're a little bit
no
caught up.
sense. We're not
It does
giving.
make sense.
You
Oh my
can't.
God.
What? We're weighting it to the what? That's the only thing we're going to judge on. Who's the best
No,
player? Who
I
played
said
well in
the
2 games?
majority- I don't think LeBron played that much enough of a. He didn't have enough of a buffer in those original games for it not to be to Steph Curry, in my opinion.
Who was leading the team in scoring before the last game? Who was leading the team in scoring?
All I'm saying is that I was so impressed by Steph Curry in those games that it carried it high enough.
And who led the team? Who led the team in efficiency? Who led them in rebounds? Who led them in assists? Who led them in field goal percentage? It's the same name. The same name that won MVP is the same name that led all those categories right there. Should we say the name together? 3, 2, 1. LeBron James.
Yeah.
There you go. So when you lead 3 key categories for a team, what does that usually mean, guys? It usually means that you are the best player on that team. Why? Because if you're getting rebounds, it means what, guys? If you're getting assists, it means what, guys? If you're scoring, it means what, guys? If you have the best efficiency on the team, it means what? It means you're the best player on the team.
anyone could put up those kind of stats against those kind of teams, but Steph Curry didn't at the end of the day, and I'm just weighting mine more towards the two games that mattered. That's as simple as that. That's the way I'm doing my categories, like my judgment of this. If you guys want to do it differently, that's completely fine, but I'm kind of disappointed that you wouldn't weight it more towards the finals, and the fact that you're judging each game equally, that's kind of concerning. You're just trying to go a little bit.
It's for the whole tournament. You're acting like LeBron James put up 2 points in the final and semi-final. That's how you're acting like, because you're saying I'm weighting it more. It's not like LeBron James was out there bigger slash. He still put up stats. He just didn't put up 36 points.
I'm saying the gap was huge. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, it wasn't, bro. Stop it. The gap wasn't huge. Stop it. Come on now.
People are calling that Steph Curry shot at the end of to secure the gold medal one of his greatest threes that he's had.
Yeah, one of his greatest threes, not the biggest three of all time.
From the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. That means it's one of the greatest.
So what? We're giving him. So he's the MVP because he's what? He was the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. That's the thing?
That's you've taken that out of context again.
He played well. So what? We're giving it to him because he played well in 2 games. You judge it for the whole tournament. MVP in the NBA is for the whole regular season. MVP of the finals is for the entire finals. Just like MVP of this tournament is for the whole tournament. If you play well in 2 games, it doesn't mean you get to bypass not being good and performing well in the other 4 games.
Okay, let's move on from this because I'm just not siding with that at all.
To be fair, though, does it even really matter? Who won the last Olympic MVP?
Okay, yeah, I agree with Trey on this. It's an Olympic event. I don't know why they have an MVP. This will be the only sport. Does football have an MVP?
Not too sure. But yeah, basketball one is...
This shouldn't be an award.
So now when LeBron wins, it's not supposed to be an award. Oh, here we go.
Well, I also thought Steph Curry should have won it, and I don't think it should be an award. So,
but he made the All-Star 5. There you go. So the All-Star 5, we had LeBron, we had Steph Curry, we had Jokic, we had Wemby, and then we had Dennis Schroder. So that was the best 5 of the tournament right there, which I think made sense. All those guys I think were definitely should have been shoo-ins. I think Franz Wagner probably lost out a little bit. Well, yeah, he wasn't getting over LeBron or Wemby, so that's a bit tough.
Yeah, crazy that Curry made it. He only played 2 good games.
Yeah, man, there you go. That's your guy as well. That's your boy.
Jamal Murray should have made it.
Jamal Murray. Oh, Lord.
Was he at the Olympics? I didn't realize.
Canada were home. They were home soon, man. They were on the plane. I was feeling bad. I felt bad for Shea, man. Shea.
I don't want. If I ever hear anyone say Jamal Murray's underrated again, I'm done. I'm just,
bro. Shea's got it. Yeah, Shea.
It's different rules. It's different rules. FIBA's harder.
But it wasn't a different sport. Like, he could have at least contributed something. I think he made 2 threes out of all of their games.
Yeah, on paper, they said that he was going to be the second best player, and that was RJ Barrett. I could argue that Jamal Murray probably wasn't even a top 5 player on that team. Like, I'm not talking about on paper. I'm talking about just performance alone. He was probably not even top 5.
You could argue he shouldn't have even been on the court.
Man, they should have just, get Zach Edey and all these other Canadian dudes, get Nemha on the court as a guard instead of Jamal Murray. That's how bad it kind of got for him. But like I said, it's FIBA. It's different rules. Obviously, spacing is tougher. It's hard to get to the basket a lot more because why? You can clog the paint. There's no 3-second rule. Things like that is going to happen. But he's got an NBA season to see if he can rebound and come back, which we know for sure he's going to because he plays with Nikola Jokic.
You say that though, but like the paint's clogged and all that. But you look what Giannis does. He's still putting up the exact same numbers in the FIBA as he is in the
Giannis is a 7 foot tall, 250 pounds. Jamal Murray is 6 foot, 200 pounds. It's different gravy.
Yeah, but they're clogging the paint and stuff. These good players get to their spots no matter what. And I don't know, Jamal Murray should have found a way to get to his spots at least.
But he is playing with Shea. I'm not taking away. I'm not saying it's Shea's fault, but Shea is the guy who, if I'm a coach, I'd rather Shea go to work and have the ball and make him the primary decision maker over Jamal Murray. So that's probably why it was a little bit difficult. Because you even had Steph say at the beginning of the tournament it was hard to find his groove because he's not getting the same amount of shots each game. So for a guy like Jamal Murray, I'm not saying he's Steph Curry, but he's in the same boat where he needs to have the ball a little bit, get a couple of shots up, even if it's missing, just to get, some sort of rhythm going. Then he can start making. He knows when he's going to get the shots. So maybe that uncertainty is probably what, messed his rhythm up, and then that's the result that you got.
But also,
forcing shots and just missing them.
Jamal Murray's whole thing has been showing up for the big moments. Like, he's proven that he's been pretty good in the playoffs and elevates his game when the spotlight's on. And when the spotlight kind of went on, he was even he didn't add anything else. He didn't level up. He didn't switch into that moment. So that's, I think, what people are most disappointed with. They all held out hope the further they got through. Well, in their one playoff game, they got through. They were just hoping that Jamal Murray was going to come through. I think it was utterly disappointing.
But looking forward to 2028, Team USA, obviously that's probably the team that gets the most attention. Who do you think is going to be on that team? Because I think we've got a couple of names on here that we know are coming back for sure. Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Bam, Halliburton, Jason Tatum. He might be in doubt, but I think he's probably going to come back. And then a flyer, of course, he'll be 39, but LeBron was 39 this year. So KD, can't rule him out. But then after that, who's some of the players that you're looking at to say, okay, yeah, 4 years' time, especially in LA, in America, this player or players could be in that team as well?
First one that jumps to my mind, Chet. I reckon he will definitely be there next time. I reckon if Embiid wasn't there this time, he would have been the next man up. Yeah, he's a long-term USA option, I think, just because of what he brings as well. Can shoot, good defender.
Competition with Wemby.
Yeah.
You already know who I'm going to say. You already know.
Cooper Flag?
No.
No.
Bronny James?
No. You know, bro. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is making that team for sure. 4 years' time, I'm telling you. I've said Cade Cunningham is going to take that step. He'll be on that 2028 team.
Is this how bad USA basketball is going to be in 2028?
Bro, you guys keep sleeping on Cade Cunningham. 21, 7, and 7.
I am sleeping. I need to see something.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
see something? He's 21, 7, and 7.
Empty stats.
Of course, it's empty stats. He plays for the Pistons.
But you think
You
if
guys
he was
always,
that good,
whenever I talked about Bill, you're like, I don't want to hear empty stats. Show me when he wins. That's what
Because
you guys
Bill
say
was
every time.
29 years old. Cade Cunningham is 21. We can't compare a guy who's in his, 11th season to a guy who's only in his 4th?
He wasn't 29 5 years ago.
What, bro, what do you mean Bradley Beal was... Bro, come on. Bradley Beal, at that point in time, was how many years in the league? And he was averaging that many points. Of course, then you can say empty stats. Cade Cunningham has just barely dipped his toes in the water in the NBA.
okay, so this year, is this like Cade Cunningham's first year where it's like, okay, we actually expect something of you that's tangible to a result of winning, or we start to sell a bit of the stock? Is that where you're at with him?
Look at the team. So are we saying that he has to make the playoffs for you guys to consider him a good player?
No, I'm just saying, like,
A direction.
Yeah.
Are you going to be the 15th seed again?
If he can get them close to the play-in,
with Ron,
the East,
with the snipers, that
East.
are Ron Holland and also Thompson.
In the East, if you're saying he's going to be like, he's got next, like, I reckon any player should be able to carry, who's got next should be able to carry a team towards the Eastern Conference play-in.
So you're telling me right now, when you people were screaming that this guy's got next, guy's got next, they were carrying their teams to the playoffs with this
LaMelo
sort of team.
What did LaMelo Ball do? He went from
Ball.
16 wins to the play-in.
When LaMelo Ball had Miles Bridges. Name me a player that Cade Cunningham has that's as good as Miles
Jalen Duren
Bridges.
averages a double-double.
Is he as good as Miles Bridges, though?
Miles Bridges isn't that
At
great.
that point in his career, it's pretty
Probably.
close. Also,
That's all he had, Miles Bridges. That is it. That was fucking like a...
Gordon Hayward was on that
Well,
team
with-
too, wasn't he?
Okay,
Okay, how many games did he play?
Tell me one thing that Miles Bridges can hit that's not a mid-range.
On the court or off the court?
Stay focused.
That is criminal. But okay. Let's move on.
Yeah,
I'll say
it
Cade
is.
Cunningham. Who else do we say on that team? Who guys think? You guys think Ja Morant can make it or no?
I've got Ja.
Yeah.
Of course, you need some shooters on there, so that's good. So we've got Ja in there. And then how about Jalen Brunson, BBL Brunson? We think he makes it.
I think so. I think
What about the Jalen? J-Dub. Is he a US citizen?
yeah. He's
Why are you laughing at that?
just the way you're like, is he a US citizen? I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's US.
We need
you
some big.
think he's American with the way he acts.
We need some
Yeah.
bigs in here though. We're lacking size. We need some bigs.
Bamute.
Right now, we've only got Chet
Oh,
and
Bam?
Bam.
Bam will be back?
Yeah, I already said we already had Bam in there. Bam and Chet
Yeah,
were the
Bam,
bigs so
Chet.
far.
AD
I
probably.
think AD at 30, 35, and I think maybe even 36. AD at 35, 36.
Oh, who else is man? I got Scotland Barnes. The
Yeah,
autistic
Scotty
one.
Barnes, I was saying, could be a hot shout for that as well. Scotty could be there.
Shout out Scotty P.
LaMelo
Well,
Ball?
listen, if he's not a good player by 2026, he's probably not making the team. But if he is,
Zon.
Evan Mobley. I said
Yeah,
I said by 2026,
I
if he hasn't lived up to the hype by 2026, then definitely not. But if he does, then okay, maybe.
Well, you said Mobley. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jarrett Allen there.
Oh yeah.
Like-
How old's Jarrett Allen now?
yeah.
28, 29. How old's he? He could. Yeah, that's still good age. Yeah, that's good age.
Yeah. Probably also more from the angle as well, like that JaVale McGee kind of player who was like put in for, was it the previous Olympics or the one before that?
Nah, previous ones, but he only made it because there was injuries. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he only made it because there was injuries, and there wasn't really that many bigs,
Well,
so
like,
they went
Pretty
let's bring him.
fundamentally sound.
We got Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag probably make it.
Yeah, Cooper Flag. I mean, but yeah, far out. There's not the USA bigs, man. That big pool is very short, which means Joel Embiid might very well come back and he might fake being a US citizen again.
He didn't seem that happy, eh? So, what did he say? He might play for Cameroon next time.
Nah, no chance, bro. After playing for the US and getting all these perks, bro, like, come on, bro.
I'm pretty sure he said it like 2 days ago.
Bro, I mean, yeah, he said it, but I mean, he said he was going to play for France as well. Look what he did.
I mean, if someone convinces him, he'll play for.
Bro. And plus, USA, I mean, that USA basketball team spent, I think they said it was like 15. I don't know if it was 15, but it was a pretty massive number that they spent on accommodation, like flights, all this stuff to make sure they got the very best. All due respect, I don't know. Cameroon's not doing that same thing. Cameroon probably staying in the Olympic Village, just because, we know how funding and resourcing works. America, that's the NBA. They expect to go. NBA players. They expect a gold medal, so they're going to treat them to that standard. I don't think you're getting that with a Cameroon. Maybe a France, but definitely not a Cameroon.
Who else? That's a good question.
So that team, this is very guard heavy. We've got some KD, Tatum, and Scotty Barnes
Blingan.
as a thing.
Blingan.
Yeah, you'll see some young players come through and develop as well. Like, there's going to be players that step up over the years.
Donovan Clingan could be a good centre in 4 years' time.
Oh yeah, I like that. And he's a big boy too, eh? 7'1", so he's a humfer. He can get in there. That team will be interesting. But like I said, I think we were talking about this before, where it's from this point on, it's got to get to a point. Yeah, you're not gonna see the crazy odds for USA to be the favorites like this. Obviously, they'll still be the favorites, but it just won't be as overwhelming. Considering, you are losing LeBron, you're losing a Steph. These guys aren't all coming back, and the guys who are coming up next, I don't think you've got that sort of, at least at this point in time, they don't sort of have that same cachet as those guys do. And we saw it, the semifinal and final. You don't win that without those performances from Steph and LeBron and KD as well.
That's true.
But would a team that's not as star heavy work better? Like, there wouldn't have to be as many players that are sacrificing. Is that something that could play into it?
Nah, because last year the World Cup, we saw what happened when they had a team that was supposed to be balanced. I thought they were fourth, didn't play that well. They just, you get to a point in time where I think these stars are able to carry you over the hump. It's what we see in normal NBA games as well. Like there gets a certain point in time where it's teamwork goes out team play goes out the door, players go out the door. It's who's got the best players. And that's what they had this tournament. I don't think in 4 years' time when Jokic and Serbia are going up against USA team, I don't think there's any scenario there where Jokic is not going to be, he probably was the best player this year anyway, but yeah, I'm probably taking my chances Jokic against these other guys.
Yeah, I suppose there's the aspect of it. It's single elimination basketball at the end of the day as well. Like when you don't have these top heavy guys who can carry you in every single type of game, there's too many variables to count. Like the chances are you might lose one of these games early on that matters.
Germany doesn't have any of that.
What do you mean?
The top heavy. They don't have the top heavy players. You got Schroder, who's barely on an NBA team, and Franz Wagner, who's not worth 200 million. So,
well, apparently,
hey man, it's worth $200 million to me, so it's all right. Nah, I wouldn't have paid $200 million for him, but that's how the salary cap works, guys. But he did have a good tournament. Franz Wagner did have a good tournament. Yeah. So that Germany team, I think they're still going to run it back next World Cup. I think they got Eurobasket next year as well. So Germany,
like you say, you can't just trade to a different team unless you're Joel Embiid.
Hey, you can see Joel Embiid in Germany next year. Don't mind that, bro. But I mean, it kills us. It kills me that I have to wait another 4 years. The greatest meme ever. I mean, there's no better person to have created that meme or be the one to have said the words other than Josh Giddey.
Is the consent changing?
It kills me. I have to wait another 4 years, man. So the Olympics, bro, kills us. But yeah, another 4 years we're going to wait. But should be good. Should be entertaining, especially in LA. Next one. So should be popping off. But as we transition, looking at the Team USA players, I mean, it's happened a couple of times. You had it before. 2008, LeBron came off, the Olympics, and then he leveraged it into back-to-back MVP seasons. Then 2012, I think the guy who sort of took off from that was Kevin Durant. I think he had lost in the finals, then had the Team USA trip at the Olympics. He took off. Then 2016, who could you say 2016? You could, who would 2016 have been?
2016 was more of the mellow redemption.
Yeah. No one really popped off after that one. But 2021, I mean, it should have been 2020, but 2021 Olympics, I thought Tatum was the guy because I think Tatum, came back. And then I don't know if it was that season or the season after, he averaged 30 points, but he just kept on growing and growing. And I think every season since that Olympic year in 2021, he's been all NBA first team. So you could say that it's Tatum from that team. Looking at this team, though, who's your guy that you're sort of staring at and saying, okay, this is the guy that's going to elevate and take that step to start being, the guy?
Marmonte. Bam Adebayo. He's the guy to build around for Miami. Get off Jimmy Butler now and build a team around this guy because what can he not do? He can shoot the three now. He can defend any player in the league. You gotta build around them.
And he's shooting a three ball now too.
Yeah, Bam is that guy.
Interesting. I reckon I'm counting out Ant because I reckon Ant was like the World Cup one. So like he had the World Cup series and then he kind of popped off and he attributed a lot of his success to that. My player that I'm going to choose is someone that didn't actually play that much, but I felt the environment in the season that they had this year is just going to help. Trey knows it. It's Tyrese Halliburton. I feel like it will just help unlock those things that he started to unlock last year. I expect him to see him take another step in his game. Just being around those players who are just absolutely insane and so much levels above him. I think Tyrese Halliburton is going to have an amazing career, and I reckon this is going to be a stepping stone for him.
Damn, just everyone taking all my ones. This is tough. Oh, this is crazy. So I guess, it leaves me with the one guy who I think a lot of people have been talking about him today, including Kendrick Perkins. He took the step the first time, and I think he's going to take the step the second time again. Obviously, the numbers, we know, based on the team that he's on, the numbers aren't going to be crazy, but I think the Celtics, for sure, are going to win another championship because they're going to be led by Jason Tatum again and Jaylen Brown again. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is you have a summer like this where obviously you're learning with all these practices that they have. You learn from these great players, the KDs, the LeBrons, the Stephs, everyone. You take something from each player. And I think as well, you probably take this a little bit personal, the fact that you were on the bench for all these games, playing behind these guys. So I think it sort of gives you something to be like, okay, now I want to prove everyone wrong, including you guys who I played with, because, I had to play behind you guys. So now I'm going to show you guys. So I'd say Jason Tatum will
You
continue.
think Jason Tatum will have the biggest step up out of every player on Team USA?
Well, I would say the biggest step up, but I feel like he's probably going to be the one who takes it, has the biggest sort of
he's got the biggest chip on his shoulder for sure.
Yeah, the biggest chip. So the best outcome that will come out of it will be, especially this season coming up, will be for Jason Tatum. I think so.
I reckon Celtics Warriors.
They are the clear favorite to win the championship. So it has to be. I don't know how Jason Tatum can do more.
He could.
The same. They're bringing back the same team.
He would have to win if he wins. Well, it's tough to win an MVP on a team that's stacked. It's because that team is very, very stacked, which always we see it hampers people's MVP runs, campaigns. But I won't rule it out purely because if they go out there and win 60 games again, and he goes, let's say 27-7-5, that could be an MVP
over Giannis's 32-12 or whatever he averages.
We never know, bro. They move the goalposts for how they judge MVP every season. So that's why you can never be certain on who's gonna, what sort of stats are gonna win your MVP or what sort of team record's gonna win your MVP.
Like Jason Tatum win 60 games with the team he's on, and then however many games Giannis won back in his prime days, I guess you can say.
Long term for me, though, the player is the same as Jed. It's Halliburton. Halliburton, I think, for sure, is the player who takes the most from this because, he's the guy on the Pacers. And I think for him especially, yeah, same thing as everyone else, as we say. You take all this knowledge from the LeBrons of the world, especially a LeBron, who's a high IQ player. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton, we've seen he's got the assists and everything already going, but to learn from one of the greatest passers of all time, and then all these other different elements of the game you learn from point guards like Steph, like Drew Holiday. It's got to be, I think, just add to his game. And obviously, Jed said it before, it's hard to include him a lot because we feel like he took that step the season just gone. So Halliburton, I think the Pacers are in a good spot. They've got a really good team, and I think they brought back a lot of their players. Tyrese is coming back, for summer with Team USA where, it's just learned a lot. So it could be scary hours over there in Indiana because I think we were talking about the Bucks, the Celtics, the 76ers, it's probably, and the Knicks as well. So it's probably for us, we probably need to not disrespect the Pacers because they could be there too.
Yeah, on Tyrese as well, I think the one thing about his game is he gets everyone involved and he does all of that stuff. The next level is when these games become close, when it's the final 6 minutes, can he take over? Can he consistently elevate his team above his competition? He showed a wee bit of that in the in-season tournament, but being around these players who are absolute killers and they're absolute skilled and honed in their craft, I think that's where his game can go to another level.
I would have liked to definitely seen a rookie or a second-year player on the Team USA this year. If Chet played for Team USA this year, oh my God, scary hours for Chet because he can be a superstar in this league for sure.
I reckon that is a huge, huge missed opportunity for Team USA to not have Chet there. I know I'm a Thunder fan, but I feel like he was the guy that's next up, and he's a long-term position that they need. They need Chet to be good going forward.
But who would you put Chet in for then? Who would you taken off the team?
I think that's where it kind of comes into it. You definitely made the right decisions, but if Embiid had not been there, he would have been my guy.
Man, honestly, over Derek,
but I feel like you need to have another guard in there, just in case, because you never know what's gonna happen in some of these tournaments, bro. But
Steph Curry.
Okay, the thing is, you couldn't have had Chet in there with having Bam, AD, and Davis because you can't play, 4 centers. You could play him at power forward, but then things just get a bit weird. Definitely the right decision with the centers they chose not to have him, but he would have been the guy I would have had in there.
He didn't need to essentially play.
Yeah, true.
Could have been learning experience like it was for Tyrese. But yeah, Tyrese for sure definitely grabbed a lot of knowledge. I think every player on that team, including even a LeBron who's 39 years old, you grab something because, yeah, you're playing with 11 other elite players. I think everyone except for Derek White has been an all-star in their career. So you're going to grab something. Hopefully everyone doesn't get the foul baiting tactics from Joel Embiid. That's the only thing that we don't need. But yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't get his work ethic either.
Wow.
Tough.
That was
Okay.
personal.
That was a personal check on the
He
feed.
took that personal.
Yeah, you already know what my rebuttal is,
no,
you know?
I'll take it back. As long as they didn't get his emotional intelligence, then we're sweet.
Criminal, yeah. But there you go, man. Looking at the guy who lost in the final, you know, he made the All-Star 5 for the Olympics. Wemby made the comment, everyone is in trouble. Not just FIBA, not just the NBA, everyone is in trouble. Looking at Wemby and the Spurs going into season 2024-2025, what are your expectations for Wemby and the Spurs overall as well going into the season?
Hey man, was it D'Lo? D'Lo said it best. Wemby is going to win every award in the NBA.
Except
He's
for six
coming.
man. But that's it.
Except for Sixth Man of the Year.
And coach of the year.
Yeah.
And executive.
I mean,
And the sportsmanship
can't
award.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like apart from that, he's sure to win at least most of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, especially he is definitely top 10 player next year. And shit. I don't know what to say. I've been high on him since the start, and you guys can vouch for that. Like,
I love to just see Trey is glowing right now as he thinks and talks about Wemby.
He's blushing, bro. This is
Hey, man.
this is top tier glazing, bro.
I think I said in one of the first podcasts that Wemby was actually going to be a top 10 player the next season.
Yeah.
And it could very well be. I mean, for Wemby, I think Wemby is going to take off. Yeah, this is the territory that comes when you get, you know, drafted by the worst team in the league or one of the worst teams in the league. You don't really, your team's not going to be very good for the first couple of years. Obviously, they added Chris Paul, they picked Stephen Castle, but, you know, yeah, we know they're not going to be great. I'd say, 30, 35, would you even say 30, 35 wins? Maybe they get there. But the biggest thing is, as long as Castle and Wemby are developing, that's your win right there. And Wemby, we know, I think, all fingers crossed, you know, hopefully stays healthy. We could be looking at 25 and 12, 25 and 13 this season.
No minutes restriction, easy.
It's just going to be crazy to see how they choose to develop him this year and what kind of avenue they look to go down. I reckon as a player, he's going to be more of a curious case to follow because if they're not going to be competitive for the playoffs, for the play-in, there's definitely going to be some angles of development that we're going to see. And I reckon that's going to be the most intriguing because his game, he can develop in any aspect. Like he can shoot, he's a great defender, he's a great passer. They can use him more with the ball in hand. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
You should be saying, what can't he do?
Yeah, well, he can do everything. You know.
He can do everything, which is unheard of. He can stop a 3-on-1 fast break. How many players can do that? Probably only him.
Chris Paul's out here, you know, making sure that he gets mentioned in as many Hall of Fame speeches as possible. You know, all these guys are going to be mentioning Chris Paul. SGA, Devin Booker. Now you're going to have Wemby, Blake Griffin, James Harden, all these guys, when they get to the Hall of Fame, it's going to be, you know, about, you know, the years I had with Chris Paul. And, you know, obviously I know he's probably not going to win a ring now anymore, but the lessons that I think, you know, we've seen what happened with SGA. He stepped up to a whole nother level. Booker, same thing. And now Wemby with Chris Paul, and he's got Greg Popovich too already. So we know this guy's got to be developing at a crazy rate. And I look forward to what happens with Castle as well for the team. But for Wemby himself, I think all-star.
The only thing about having CP3 on the roster though, there's 19 seconds of the shot clock that Wemby's not going to get the ball. He's just going to get it thrown to him.
I was gonna say Wemby is gonna get the ball. Like when the ball is out of Jeremy Sohan's hands, it makes me feel good because I know Wemby's got a chance of getting the ball. When the ball's in Jeremy Sohan's hands, there's not a chance that fucking thing gets to Wemby. So this is a positive for the Spurs.
Get Wemby the ball. Even if I would be keen. That's why I wanted to see Larry Markkinen there because I wanted to see Wemby be the ball handler in the pick and roll action with another big where you can't help because the other big can shoot. So it's going to be scary hours because even that pick and roll with him and Chris Paul, that's going to be tough on anyone. And Chris Paul probably defensively gets the heart a little bit because every single player knows doesn't matter if I get blown by, man. We got Wemby back there. It's all right. Go gadget. We'll make sure nothing goes in the basket.
Yeah. Jesus.
So big season for them. I mean, for sure, yeah, probably not a playoff season, but yeah, in terms of development, that's probably your biggest key. And trying to get Wemby, get Wemby to the All-Star game. I don't know where the All-Star game is this year, but get Wemby there. Maybe even first team, but he's the overwhelming favorite for Defensive Player of the Year right now.
Yeah, by a long shot. What was it? $1.16 or something?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. For Defensive Player of the Year, like, man, these odds makers really, they believe. I mean, there's nothing. Oh, yes, no reason not to believe. So
injuries. If he injures himself and doesn't play 65 games. There's that. That's why I'm intrigued to see what's so much.
All right. So it should be good, man. But anyone got Wemby? How far? Like, I mean, All-Star, All-NBA first team, second team. How far? Like, what's the highest accolade you think he gets this season?
Second team.
Second year.
Yeah. I'll be safe and go second team just because old mate from Serbia is still over there. So, yeah, I think second team's pretty safe.
Positionless, though.
Yeah, but I still think there's some guys in there.
You think the 5 that got it in first team last year, I can't imagine any of them, if they play enough games, I can't imagine any of them slipping down.
Yeah.
The only one.
Yeah. The only one I'd say that I think is at risk is Tatum, which again goes back to what I was saying with the team stuff, where I think other guys are like don't have to compete for touches and everything on their team, so they might have better stats.
So there could be a chance where Shea possibly slips down if J-Dub and Chet make huge leaps, but even then, I think he's pretty safe.
Ja Morant, man, bounce back season. So
I still think he's that tier below.
Yeah, I'm the same. I agree. I think the only person who gets replaced is Tatum, and I think Tatum gets replaced with Embiid. That's the only person I think gets replaced.
Embiid, you think Embiid plays 65 games this season?
Bro, listen.
The future is the past.
Listen, he wasn't
the past.
Listen, he's going back to Cameroon, I'm pretty sure, this offseason. We have some witchcraft over there in Africa, so we'll do something to put some powers over him to make sure he plays 65.
And what is that, of course? A new knee?
Bro, bionic knee. We're going to need it. Oh, man. But that is it for the Dunk Dynasty Podcast, episode 51 in the books. Again, thank you to everyone for the support. Really appreciate it. You guys following on all the different social media platforms. If you haven't already, go check out our TikTok and listen to the 1% challenge and follow along, see if you can make it all the way to the 1% question. Make sure you head over to all, like I said, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, subscribe, follow. Make sure you stay up to date with all the things that we're releasing. New episodes out each week, especially in this off season as we get closer to the new season. And again, if you enjoy the podcast, share it with your family, your friends, your colleagues, everyone. Grow the Dunk Dynasty Podcast army. The journey to 1,000 followers, the journey to as many subscribers as possible on all the platforms. Yeah, that should be all the messaging. That is it. We shall catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy life, and we'll see you next week. Outro music, do your thing.